Welcome to LexTalk World Talk Show presented by Clickaway Creators. Today we have Dr. Sheetal Babar with us. Dr. Sheetal is an academician and a legal consultant since 2003. She has a work experience in legal education for more than 17 years. She is a senior legal partner in APJ Legal and Associates, Pune. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Sheetal. We are pleased to have you with us today.
Thank you so much for this invitation. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show. And the first thing that we would also like to know from you is going to be something about your your journey as a legal professional so far.
Yes. To just give you a brief idea as to who am I, this is Dr. Sheetal Babar, as you have already introduced it fantastically. I am into legal practice since 2003, and I was fortunate to join legal academics as well, legal education as a teacher, as a professor. Wherein I have worked as a full-time lecturer as well, but then inclination towards practice have, pulled up me again back to consultancy, though I'm not into litigation practice. But since 2011, I'm into IP consultancy because IP remains quite close to my heart. I being IP teacher, I being IP mentor, I been working into IP somewhat. My social work has some of the other connects to startups in rural places that definitely have helped me out to come up with IP awareness into the rural industry. I would rather say, in fact, otherwise than the corporate field. I would say rural industry, rural startups, and IP is something very close to my heart. And that is how my journey as an academician, as an IT mentor, IP consultant has come up with. And that is what I am through Lawstraw Private Limited, which is my company. I'm a founder director of this company. So this is a little about my journey into this legal field.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that quick brief about your journey with us. Moving ahead, now we would like to ask you about one of your most memorable cases. So tell us about that and what are your key takeaways from there?
Okay, to be very honest, when I must say, the very first ever case is always a memorable case. And I started my career not as an IP mentor or IP consultant. I started my career as a criminal practitioner, criminal lawyer. And the very first case, which I could relate in today's day, and it has been memorable since, the very inception of that case into my life. It was a case related to a child, and it was Section 377 of IPC. And unfortunately, then POXO wasn't that into much awareness. And an unfortunate event basically in my life, the very first case which I handled, I prominently assisted my senior in this particular case, has a major impact on my life. And wherein, as I always say, a social work and working for women and children has been always a part of my life because of this case. If you ask me as an advocate, what are the takeaways from this particular case, I would say change is the only thing which is constant. And I could not then at that time relate that 377 might be scrapped one day, and law could be changing its dimensions and its aspects drastically when I might be, more younger in those days. I could not relate that then. But yes, today I can wisely tell all of those budding lawyers that yes, that might be a prominent law today, but not be a law anymore in your practical aspects or practical arena one day. So always be very updated and always be very upgraded with whatever comes into your plate.
Yes, absolutely. The legal profession is all about being updated and keep updating yourself and upgrading yourself with the latest laws. However, you rightly said the first case is always memorable. And especially if it puts you into such a situation where a lot of learning comes your way, it makes it even more memorable. So thank you so much for sharing that amazing experience with us. I would like to move on to the next question. And here we talk about international law a little bit. So the question is, how do you look at international law in 2021 as of today? And how it's going to change 5 years down the line?
Yes. I've been an international law professor, and I have been a forte of international law, and I love this subject a lot because it has so many dimensions. If you ask me, how do we look up to international law 2021? I would say COVID has showed us again more dimensions and platforms for the international law to come into, the very scenario of litigations. In fact, I could, in fact, insist here. I could, talk about a little as to health industry has made us involve international law not only onto public platform, public international law platform, but international law has been coming up and booming up onto private platform as well. We have corporate industry which is booming up. We have health industry which has been booming up. I would in fact talk about international economic, which is, globalization has made us understand international law is where not. It is everywhere. It is into corporate, it is into international trade, it is into IP, it is into human rights. It is basically everywhere around. You can just take an example of a contract or an agreement, and then international law, private international law probably might come into your plate. Also, earlier, I would say there was a little more, scope of international law only onto the states or member states. Now we have non-state actors also coming up as to corporations, as I was talking about. We have so many academic institutions which are coming up with MOUs and coming up with agreements and contracts with various universities around the world. So I guess if I look up to international law today, it is the best one for all of the lawyers to choose as one of their trains and streams for practice. I mean, I'm the one who is still coping up with various dimensions of international law. But in coming years, in coming 5 years, I would say health industry will take international law, corporate industry will take international law to an ultimatum. So that is how I see international law from academic perspective, research perspective, to practical and litigation perspective as well.
Absolutely. The more we are making the world a global village, the more international law is becoming handy, and the more transactions are happening globally in terms of, not in terms of money only, but in terms of everything rather. So absolutely right. And I think in next 5 years we will have this jurisdiction kind of a thing will be fading away a little bit, and we will find lawyers who are qualified on multiple jurisdictions and on multiple streams, as you rightly said. And international law is going to be the next big thing. Young lawyers, if you're watching this interview, please make sure that you update and upgrade yourself in the international law. And this is the next big thing coming over to you. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Sheetal, for sharing such great insights on that particular question. I'll move on to the next one. And let's talk about Lawstraw a little bit. So the question is, how is Lawstraw as a team contributing to the legal awareness against IP rights?
As I had been a part of APJ Legal, I still am a part of APJ Legal as a senior consultant. I always felt when we actually started up more into IP since 2011, we are into IP consultancy. I just thought of a little virtual and academic and research oriented work to be done along with IP consultancy and into being IP practitioner. You need to have a little stint of academics and research, and hence I felt when it comes to IP, Vinay, you might also agree with me. There are so many people. There's so many. I mean, the whole if you count the population, maximum crowd is unaware of IP rights. Let it be patents, let it be copyright, let it be trademarks, especially branding, and all of these things have come up so much. So just felt a need of making people aware of all of these rights. In 2019 has given up an opportunity to be completely virtual. So Lawstraw Private Limited, where I am the founder director of this company, we've started up with short courses of certain hours wherein we can make a layman, an advocate, a corporate, an industry. We are into training. These courses are related to intellectual property rights. So we've sorted up with copyrights. We've sorted up with understanding copyrights, understanding patents, understanding trademarks and procedures of trademarks and so on. We have international law also, as I have a little forte inclination towards international law. We have human rights and international law programs also built up and structured for budding lawyers who want to know more about international law. And that is how we have created certain short courses virtually to get you upgraded and updated, as you said, for the coming up careers and scopes. And this is how we put up legal awareness through maintaining social distancing on a virtual platform through Lawstraw Private Limited.
Okay, thank you so much for that great insight and sharing a lot of information on Lawstraw. For our viewers, I'm going to mention the link of Lawstraw in the description below. Please go through the website and understand what you can really learn from the website, or if in case you want to opt for a course, please go through that. It should definitely help you coming over into your career. All right, thank you so much, Dr. Sheetal. We will be moving ahead on the next question. And here we would like to talk about, again, how much have your academic and consulting experience helped you serve the clients or society at large? Please tell us about that a little bit.
Yes, yes. As I always say, whoever wants to practice should always have a little experience into teaching. That is just an advice from my side, because Lawstraw, the idea of Lawstraw, it all started up with a little academician into me. And when I just thought of a teacher, a professor, a law mentor can more create an awareness into the society, and looking up to the aspects of practical experience of mine as well as academic experience of mine, it is easy for me to consult with various startups. We have hundreds of clienteles. Fortunately, I would always say this, fortunately those are the individuals. More of work of mine is into rurals and individual persons, individuals who are patent owners. In fact, they are the inventors, I must say, but not the patent owners. And definitely my practical consultancy, my practical aspect and academics has helped me out to assist these people into enhancing and enriching themselves with the IP rights, which is must in case of the original owner of that particular intellectual property. So yes, we help corporates, we help individuals especially, we help and assist the startups more prominently to get over their IP rights, like branding, like patent ownership, and especially copyright is one of the aspects I always feel in Indian scenario, we little lethargic to have copyright ownership. So yes, we have the copyright consultancy and assisting people, individuals for copyright laws as well.
Absolutely, I think we have moved a long way in past 1 decade. If I talk about IP rights in India, but I think there's still a long way to go. A
And
lot
I
of
guess,
companies, a lot.
sorry,
Yeah, go
sorry to
ahead.
cut you up. The element which has been added on because of COVID effect has definitely not made us more aware with the copyright laws. Virtual books, we have flip books, we have so many material coming up into e-form, but then we are less aware of these. So yes, I suppose this element has helped me out to cover up these aspects also, which are blooming up in a new facet these days.
Yeah, in this new world, in this new normal, I think. And you're absolutely right. I think the next 1 decade or probably a couple of decades will have the IP rights is going to be once again a very, very booming industry and a stream. If I talk about the Indian legal fraternity, this is going to come up very, very rapidly, because a lot of corporates, a lot of companies still do not really understand the value of that. But gradually and slowly, people are learning and understanding how important is it. And legal professionals like yourself, who are spreading a lot of knowledge, education to other legal professionals as well, are really creating that bridge to really go the other on the other side of the bridge. So thank you so much for doing that. And once again, for our viewers, please make sure that you go through the website and understand what Dr. Sheetal is doing and her team is doing about this. I'm sure you'll get a lot of knowledge and information from there. With that, Dr. Sheetal, we move on to the last question of the session today. Here, we would like to ask you if you can give us details about the courses or training programs that are developed by Lawstraw.
Yes. The first and the foremost, I would, in fact, a little away from what we've been discussing since a long, which I feel every working women must go with that particular course is a Posh course. And in fact, the course which we have developed and we have designed for is we have nomenclature of that particular course as Posh trainer. So you be into an HR, you be into any management, you be just an employee, you be an employer, you can be an Posh trainer. And that is one of the courses I would in fact like to share with you. So Posh is one of those courses. We have public and private international law fragmented, and we have courses relating to public international law, understanding of public international law and private international law. As I have earlier mentioned, we have short courses relating to understanding copyright laws, understanding patent laws, procedures of patent laws, understanding legal aspects of your startups. And we have courses also which we develop. I love to research, and we have a research skill enhancement course, which is one of my best courses, I must say. So that is one of the courses which definitely helps out every single lawyer into litigation, non-litigation, corporate, or any another field. You once enhance your skills of researching and getting into penetrate into the very arena of your research. I feel these are few courses I would like to mention here. So research course, yes, is one of the best of mine, and along with all others, because my team puts in maximum efforts to design these courses for all of the crowd, starting from a layman to a senior practitioner, I must say. So that is how these are a little details of the courses. And of course, as we'll be sharing out the link of my website, they definitely are going to go into more details of these courses. Thank you.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that brief information about what you guys are offering. And once again, I would request all of our viewers to make sure that you just go through that link and go through the website, understand more about the courses, and if in case you see something that really helps you in notching up your career, you should definitely do that. All right, so with that, we come to the end of this session. Dr. Sheetal, thank you so much for sharing such great insights with us, and our audience and viewers must be delighted with that. It was a pleasure to have you on the show today. We look forward to having a chat with you again in the future. And for our viewers, if you like this chat with Dr. Sheetal, please like and share this video with your friends, with your colleagues who might want to take advantage of Lawstraw and just upgrade themselves. So with that, we come to the end of this session. Thank you for watching. This is Vinay for LexTalk World.
Thank you.